2008 Honda Accord 534 YBM, 534 YBM Honda Accord. And you're asking me, why am I starting with a license plate number? Well, uh, it is from a day planner in 2014, and something that Dan Rashbaum may have mistakenly handed over to the state, and it was revealed today. So back in 2014, roughly around the time of the murders, preceding the murders, Donna Adelson, in her day planner, had Dan Markel's 2008 Honda Accord license plate number, again, 534 YBM. She's living in Miami. Dan Markel's living with his ex-wife in Tallahassee. What does that mean? Does Wendy know? Did Wendy know the license plate number? Did you go and get it and give it to Donna? It's Donna Sue Adelson on trial against the state of Florida. But is this another huge piece of evidence potentially against Wendy Adelson? And how does this affect her post Donna Adelson's trial if there is a conviction with Donna?
Welcome to the global phenomenon, Surviving the Survivor. Here's your host, Emmy Award-winning journalist, Joel Waldman.
What's up, STS Nation? Welcome to Surviving the Survivor. This is the show that brings you the very best guests in all of true crime. And in just a minute or two, I'm going to bring in a surprise lunch guest who is hanging out just off camera. But today, much more interesting than the last couple of days. I mean, not to say that that's not interesting, but we had Pat Sanford on the stand, I think, the last 3 days. And we were hearing a lot of wiretap calls and things that the FBI does sort of furtively. And today we finally got to Donna Sue Adelson's arrest at the Miami airport. And Pat Sanford, the FBI agent, testified to the fact that Donna Sue Adelson, if you remember the video, was literally pulling her phone away. And Special Agent Sanford said she did not want to give up her digital devices. She did not want to be arrested. I don't know why, but every time I do a shot, I've got concrete trucks. There must be a concrete thing nearby, but anyway, one just drove by. So you have this revelation about the license plate number, which we're going to get into. You've got the arrest basically on the jetway at Miami International Airport. Of course, Donna Sue Adelson and her husband Harvey trying to get to Vietnam via Dubai on a one-way ticket. At the end of the morning session, Georgia was pointing out that this planner is coming back to haunt her. But in the 2014 planner, Georgia also points out that her grandson's bar mitzvah is in January. And she asks Pat Sanford, were there any plans, as far as you know, from Donna Sue Adelson to come back from Vietnam for this bar mitzvah? These are her sunshines. These are her loves. And apparently there was no plan to come back. So it's just making it look worse and worse for Donna Adelson. And then we hear the so-called hot mic call, and Donna talking about the fact that she's lived this life that's long enough now. She doesn't need to be here anymore. Talking about unaliving herself, even talking about potentially doing it with her husband Harvey, who's the only member of the family that's here behind Donna Adelson. So much different morning. And this afternoon, we're finding out that it is really, we are at the very end of the state's case, and we're going to hear from these jailhouse informants. Drina Bernhardt, D-R-I-N-A, Bernhardt is one of them. And what's so interesting about this comes up with the state's new investigation that was conducted toward the very end of 2024, where they found out there were possibly some jailhouse informants, and also discovered that there is a handwritten script that was written for one of them about what to testify to if they were called as witnesses in a Donna Adelson trial. And that's where we're at now, a Donna Adelson trial. Well, if that handwriting on that script comes back and it matches Donna Adelson's handwriting, and there will be a handwriting analyst, that could be the final nail in Donna Adelson's coffin. Jimmy, come over here. I want to ask you some questions. So without further ado, instead of me going back through all the information, come on, have a seat here, brother. This is Jimmy McNutty, man. There he is.
STS,
yeah.
STS Nation. Got to throw my gang sign.
He's not he's not a lawyer, but he might as well be one. He's been following cases. So we're gonna have a little bit of fun, and I'm gonna get hate because people are gonna say, "Well, I've been a member of STS Nation. Why am I not on the lunch live?" The only reason Jimmy's on the lunch live, he's eating a carton of Dannon plain yogurt.
It's salad.
Oh, it's a salad in a Dannon yogurt carton with a water, and he's out here hanging out. Jimmy, by the way, wears this crazy contraption with his laptop, and he's constantly going. But if you guys follow Jimmy McNutty on Twitter, he's got some really interesting insight. You know, he picks up on all the things I would never pick up on, just being a jury watcher for so long. I mean, one of them is you have all the numbers figured out. So as far as we know, the first two rows of jurors obviously are the regular 14. The ones closest to the door in the back row, I think, are the alternates. Is that how you understand it?
Yeah, there's the back row to the left, closest to the door, are the two alternates. It's a white woman and a black woman.
Yeah, and she's wearing the COVID mask.
She's wearing the COVID mask, right?
Yeah. So there are two African Americans on the jury panel. One is an alternate. The other woman is an alternate. So what's your take on the jurors so far?
I think Sergeant Corbett. They started really paying attention with Sergeant Corbett, and from there on, they're all tracking. They're all really paying, except for Juror 12. Juror 12, she started coming alive with.
Is she in the middle back row?
She's the one with the little ponytail.
Okay.
Back row next to the alternates.
Okay, yeah.
Next to the alternates.
That's who I.
Yeah. C12.
Now she doesn't seem like anti-state. She just seems a little disinterested in general.
She seems like she's not a leader. She will just go with the majority. So when she gets in the jury room, she'll just like listen to everybody and like whatever the majority says, she'll just go with. Yeah, she'll just go with it.
And I mean, the last couple of days were, at least for us, because we've all heard this stuff before, but I feel like the jurors were really tuned in to these wiretaps. Do you feel that way?
Yes. In fact, I changed my foreman from juror number 5, the guy, the bald-headed irrigation guy.
Yeah.
Juror number 2. He looks like the guy who created Entourage. And he also had a food truck show on like.
Is he the guy with the ponytail sitting next?
No, that's Mountain Man.
Okay, Mountain Man.
Mountain Man. He's juror number 4.
All right. So
juror number 2 is the guy that's looking around a lot, and he's really paying attention. And during Corbett and Sanford, this guy was he was locked in, and when they talked anything about Donna and Harvey, he looked over at Harvey. Yeah, so he is.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah,
he's clued in. He is clued in on what the phone calls were all about. And he's lucky because he's got a monitor right in front of him, so he can read the transcript.
Does he have a beard? Like a
little scruffy beard.
So
he's got a beard. Yeah,
I think he's the one when they brought up the Hitler Youth uniforms. He did his head just swung around like on a swivel, looking at Donna. But these jurors to me are all locked in, and I agree with you. You've been following this guy closer, but definitely. I feel like Sprinkler Man or Mountain Man or this guy could potentially lead the way, right?
Yes. Sprinkler Man, he looks like Mike Ehrmantraut on Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
And he looks like he looks like a fixer. He could be a fixer, just like Mike Ehrmantraut was.
Yeah.
But another thing about juror number 2 is when Rob Adelson dropped the mic and when Donna said, "I gotta go," that was a drop mic moment.
Yeah.
I looked over at number 2, and he looked like he was ready to punch somebody. I was crying, so I really cried. I didn't have a tissue, and I was sitting on a towel, and I had to get up, and I had to get a towel to get my tears away.
Look how sweet this guy is. So let me follow that question up. I mean, in your opinion, as a guy, and Jimmy's literally been watching. That's not his real name, but that's what I'm calling him. But
I'm Dave.
Dave.
Call me Dave.
Yeah. I like calling you Jimmy.
Yeah, Jimmy's fine.
But he's literally been watching trials for 30 years. Today, up to this point, in your opinion, who's been the most powerful witness? Is it Rob?
Rob.
No doubt.
No
right?
doubt. No doubt.
No doubt. And when he testified to the fact that Donna didn't want to speak about the arrest of this really high-profile murder and told him not to ask about it.
Yes.
And then they haven't spoken since then.
Yes.
I mean, you said it's a mic drop moment. I mean, I feel like that right at that moment, Donna's fate was sealed. I felt.
Yeah. Her own son, who she black sheeped, is gonna, or let's call it orange sheep, because orange is the new black, right?
Yeah.
So from black sheep to orange sheep.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. So let's talk about today a little bit.
Let me check.
The arrest on the jetway. How damning.
Oh, that's damning. But there are defenses, because you could say, like, I'm so rich, I can go to Vietnam, and we might want to go to Singapore.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we didn't book a round trip, because we're so rich we can go anywhere we want. So.
And they haven't shown the arrest video, and I'm wondering why. Do you think? I mean, it seems like we've moved on from there. Is there a reason why she didn't show it?
It might. I don't know. Maybe there's citizens, unrelated citizens, that are in the jetway that are like right behind her, and maybe they can't blur. I don't know. Can they blur out?
I mean, I'm sure they could blur that out, but I don't know that. There's got to be a reason for it. But speaking of reasons, one of the things that pretty much no one can figure out, and I'm wondering if you can, what is the defense and what is Jackie Fulford doing on cross? Like, after Sanford sat on the stand for 2 or 3 days, whatever it was, she gets up there and she's like, I don't know how to pronounce Jeff Lacoste. I don't know what this is called. And like, it just seems to be going nowhere.
Jackie, on her cross of Sanford, all she did was regurgitate the state's testimony, and got Sanford to say yes. And every time Sanford says yes, a juror who's not paying attention will go, "Oh, the defense is making credit. The defense is making points because the witness is agreeing with the defense attorney," and that's going to make them go, "Oh, so the defense has a point." And all she's doing is repeating what Georgia had Sanford say.
Yeah.
So that's what the defenseless do. The defenseless try and get a lot of yeses out of the witness, even though it's nothing.
Yeah. It seemed to literally. I mean, and her delivery is so awkward.
Yeah.
And her voice is grating, so it's just all together. And I think that Donna is realizing it, because there was a moment at the very end before lunch where it was like Donna wanted to have a moment with Jackie, and I'm not sure if she's starting to get like disillusioned with Jackie and wondering, like, did I make a mistake here? I don't know. But let's go back to the license plate again. There's a 2014 planner, and we find out that this is something that Dan Rashbaum handed over. Now, I don't think, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think this was part of the discovery process. I think that Dan handed this over and it was like accidentally found. Am I right or am I wrong? I don't.
Okay, I don't know that the genesis nor the where it ended up.
Yeah.
But obviously there's a discovery issue with it, right?
Yeah.
So they did. I don't know what. I didn't hear the judge's decision on it. If it's coming in, obviously it's in.
Yeah, it came in.
It
came in. Yeah.
So the two license plates is, one is the Odyssey that Wendy drove.
The van, yeah.
The van, and Dan's car. And what that tells you is those two license plates were given to Sigfredo to say Dan could be driving. No. The kids. Well, no. Take it back. There's no way that Dan would be driving the van because they're divorced.
But it was the Honda. The license plate that's written. So it says Odyssey van. I don't know who make it.
It said Odyssey.
But then it said Honda Accord 08, and that had the plate number. But let me ask you this. When I heard that, and I was talking about it with people in the media room, they're like, Wendy's cooked, because that information had to come from Wendy. There's no way Donna is traveling up. But then people, the people who play devil's advocate say, well, on one of her trips, this is what the defense would say if Wendy was indicted. They would say, well, Donna Adelson came up and is such a nosy, meddling mother that she jotted down the license plate number. But in your opinion, how damning is it that Donna had this in her planner? It's my belief, my opinion, that you would have had to gotten it from Wendy.
I believe that's more damning to Wendy. I believe that's Wendy evidence.
Yeah.
That is going to be, when they indict Wendy, that's going to be, I don't know if they brought it out they probably don't need it for Donna.
No.
They probably don't need it for Donna, but what they're doing is they're showing Wendy that there's something out there now. Right?
Yeah.
So Wendy's probably sweating right now, going, "Holy S! They got that." Oh.
Yeah, and by the way, last night we're doing some special stuff for the Patreon members because they're paying for the membership, to be totally frank. And so I did a video about new evidence against Wendy. We'll release it to everybody in the next couple of days, but right now it's just on Patreon. But I'm gonna have to go in and amend it because now with this license plate number, that's a game changer unto itself. That Donna has this number, and again, if I look at Carm, she's not going to know I don't even know my license plate number. So she's plotting something. She's going to call me and say, "What's your license plate number?" So I can give it to these guys. So it almost absolutely had to come from Wendy. So that was kind of a bombshell moment again in court this morning.
I have a comment.
Yeah.
The revelation of the 2014 day planner with Dan's license plate could be a bump to get Wendy to do something. Yes, Wendy is going to start sweating, and it can get Wendy to start making plans to do something, maybe Vietnam.
Watching trials for 30 years, man, that's a good call. I mean, you just don't know. Georgia is really smart on the fly, man, and she, I think there's something to that. And shout out, by the way, to Jason Newland. He's the chief investigator for the state. And that guy, he's in the courtroom every single day. I don't think he gets the credit that he deserves. But he really, along with Sarah Catherine Dugan in Georgia, he's getting all the important information. And he's got the guy that really is behind the scenes with the whole team. But Jason Newland is there. He does not get the same sort of shine. But let's go on to this final big piece of the morning, which is the recorded jailhouse call. Donna breaks down on this call, and I have some quotes here. "I'm going to lose my son who's going to prison," which he did, Charlie. "I'm not that strong," she says. "I have one son who testified here that I don't speak with. And my daughter, whom I love, is basically," she said, "doing this to me," which is another really bad fact for Wendy. That she said her daughter is doing this all to her. She goes, "I'm old." This is Donna. "I'm old. I had a life. If the quarter trial doesn't go well, I know what I want to do," suggesting to Harvey that we can do it together, and leave a note suggesting that they're going to unalive themselves. Jimmy, this is showing desperation. An innocent woman doesn't speak this way, right?
No, but not in front of 3 or 4 different people. Maybe in front of Harvey, but you don't start telling there's 3 different people in the room, right? Yeah. Mr. This, Mrs. that.
Yeah.
You don't start telling them I'm ready to go. Put a garden hose in my car.
Right.
So
this is a hot mic moment,
yeah.
And she's talking after the fact, after Charlie hangs up and jailhouse calls are recorded. She's now talking to some friends of hers that are in the house. Now, Wendy also writes a letter during this hot mic call. Donna reads a letter or a text from Wendy, and it says, and it's a direct quote, "Dear Mom, I know you're upset about the verdict," meaning Charlie, "but the anger directed at me is not justified. I am not responsible in any way for Charlie's situation. I was not involved in any way in Danny's death." That's so suspicious to me, because that's almost like an attorney saying, "Hey, write this down so it's in writing," right?
Yes,
I mean, what do you make of that, Jimmy?
Well, was it an email?
I believe it says letter here. I believe it was a text message, but I'm not 100% sure.
Okay, if it was an electronic message and Donna gets arrested, Wendy knows that will come in through electronic discovery. The only way that Wendy's kind of covering her ass, right? Mm-hmm. By saying, "I had nothing to do with it." And so, yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And so finally, the woman that seems to grate on everyone's nerves, including, I believe, Josh Selman, very odd chemistry. I mean, I don't know why, to be honest, why Jackie Fulford is working with Josh or Josh is working with Jackie. I'm not sure how that even came about, but they don't seem to gel with each other. It's like one person crosses one. Like, there's no fluidity. Maybe I'm crazy, but Jackie comes up Let me ask you this. What do you feel their defense is? Like, what is the defense?
Okay, until I heard that the jailhouse snitches are coming in, I thought the defense, I really thought the defense was going to be that Donna's going to say she knew after the fact and Charlie called the hit. Because just like the TV was cheaper than hiring a hitman, hiring a hitman is cheaper than paying $333,000 to Dan Markel. So Charlie's all about the Benjamins. So that is my theory. What Donna's defense is going to be is that she knew after the fact, so she's guilty of trying to cover up.
Yeah, and by the way, one of the things that always happens with me, and I'm not nearly as savvy as Jimmy here in terms of trial watching, but one of the things that happens to me, state lays out a case, I go, wow, that's so powerful. Then the defense comes up and they say, you know, they cross, and I'm like, oh, wow, you know, that was amazing. I have none of those moments with Jackie, but maybe there was an inkling on the cross today at the very end when she came after a little brief meeting, and Judge Everett, I can tell, is annoyed with her. He's like, move this along because she's taking these long breaks. But her very last line of questioning, I think I'm seeing some Bama. I don't know what that is, Bama, but we got Alabama coming into town, and I'm rooting for the Knowles here. But in her line of her cross at the end of the day, she says, Jackie Fulford, something to the effect to Pat Sanford, the FBI agent. She says, Special Agent Sanford, was there any direct evidence between Sigfredo Garcia and Donna Adelson? No, ma'am. Any direct evidence between Luis Rivera and Donna Adelson? No, ma'am. And then she has like these caveats for Katie Magbanua because of the checks that she was writing. And then Georgia came, and as Jimmy always says, she cleaned it right up. Any concern there from you that the FBI agent had to say that there was no direct evidence? Georgia comes up and goes, but there was a circumstantial evidence, and he goes, there was a ton of circumstantial evidence.
That cleaned it up right there.
Right there?
Yeah, Georgia cleaned it up.
And you're watching the Jurors at that point? And then,
no, I didn't.
I was watching them, and and when Georgia cleaned it up, they were just like, this woman's got no defense.
Yeah. I believe when Jackie was asking him, do you have direct evidence that Donna said, I want him dead? And I think the jury just goes, that's a stupid question. There's circumstantial.
Yeah.
You know, they know. They know.
So I'm just trying. Oh, there we go. So, Jimmy, let me ask you this. What's left? I mean, it looks like the state could literally wrap this afternoon. Charlie hasn't been called yet. Is Charlie going to get called by the defense as sort of a character witness or to provide information to say, yeah, I was extorted, but my mom never knew?
Okay, I believe Tim Jensen said it right the other night. It's a poker bluff. It's all a bluff. Get Charlie in town, make the defense go, holy crap.
Yeah.
I can't say the S word.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
You can say it.
Charlie's going to tell them about the double extortion, so Donna's going to have to go with it to make sense. So that's why I think she's going to throw Charlie under the bus. She's going to say, Charlie did it. He lied in his trial. He hired the hitman without me knowing, and I knew how to.
So you think we're going to see him called by the defense then?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. They're just going to. Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
And then in terms of the defense, does she still get called? Does she have to get called?
I don't see anybody but Donna. Who's their witnesses?
I don't. Today Jackie kept saying with Sanford on the stand, our witnesses will take care of this, but maybe that's a bluff. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They got a couple of witnesses on the list from sheriff department.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
Tallahassee police. So
yeah. Let me ask you this: if this trial went to deliberations today, what would the verdict be?
Well, Georgia proved her case with Rob, right?
Yeah.
She proved her case with Rob Adelson, so the burden was lifted.
Well, there you go, man. I say it all the time: best guest, better community. This guy came all the way from Los Angeles to watch this trial. David, his real name, goes by Jimmy McNutty in the chat. Fist bump. Thank you for doing the lunch live. We'll get other people out here to do the lunch live.
Oh, okay.
No.
I got one more comment.
Yeah.
If you're an FSU fan, Alabama is staying at the DoubleTree. Go bug them tonight so they can't sleep.
Doxing Alabama on the show. I love it. Love you all. Love you, Tallahassee. Justice for Dan Markel. We'll see you tonight with a wrap-up show. We've got Tim Jansen, Joe Patuto, and former Leon County prosecutor Jeremy Mutz. We'll see you about 20 minutes after court. See you later, everybody.